Now, a four-star U.S. Air Force general has warned of a possible conflict with China, most likely over Taiwan. As early as 2025, he urged his commanders to push their units to achieve maximum operational battle readiness this year. An internal memorandum over the issue emerged on social media and was later confirmed as genuine by the Pentagon. In the memorandum, the head of the U.S. Air Mobility Command, General Mike Minihan, said that the goal, or the main goal, should be to deter and, if required, to defeat China. Minihan says he hopes that he is wrong, but added that his gut says U.S. will fight in 2025. General Minihan reasoned his argument on this. Taiwan has presidential elections next year. This would offer Chinese President Xi Jinping an excuse for military aggression. During this time, the United States will be the most likely distracted by its own contest for the White House. General Minihan hence says that Xi's team, reason and opportunity are all aligned for 2025. Senior U.S. officials have said in recent months that China appears to be speeding up its time frame to seize control of Taiwan. China staged major military exercises in August last year, seen as a trial run for an invasion after a defiant visit of solidarity to Taipei by then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Einar Tangen is a political and economic commentator. He's joining us live on this broadcast from Beijing. Einar, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
General Mike Minihan says he has gut feeling of a war brewing in 2025. When a military official at this level or at his level issues such sensitive information without any mention of intelligence gathering, how would you interpret that? Is it to be believed?
Well, I mean, as he said, it's a gut feeling. He also said, quote, when you can kill your enemy, every part of your life is better. Your food tastes better. Your marriage is stronger, unquote. I think you can pretty much tell by his mindset what he's going on. But it is troublesome and will merit a reaction from Beijing. I mean, this is in conjunction with new trade sanctions being mulled by the White House, 49%, where they are going to make sure that American companies cannot invest in any kind of technology, high-end technology in China itself, and also an increase last year of 49% in U.S. arms exports. So this time, I mean, these are very serious things. The fact that the Pentagon, rather than withdrawing it or saying he's talking out of turn, that they have confirmed it indicates that they are intent on banging the war drum.
All right, I'm talking to Einar Tangen. We are talking about a statement that was issued by a U.S. general. His name is Mike Minihan. He says that he's warned of a possible conflict with China, most likely over Taiwan, as early as 2025. He says he has a gut feeling that U.S. or the United States will go into war with China in the year 2025. And the Pentagon has backed his claims. They say that when an official at his stature says this, then both countries should be worried. That is the United States and China. We are yet to receive any confirmation or any reaction from the Chinese side over this statement by Mike Minihan. Now, in the memorandum, the head of the U.S. Air Mobility Command, his name again, General Mike Minihan, says the main goal should be to deter and, if required, to defeat China. Minihan says he hopes that he is wrong, but added that his gut says U.S. will fight in 2025. Einar Tangen is a political and economic commentator. He's with us in Beijing. Now, Einar, a U.S. defense official says that Minihan's comments are not representative of the department's view on China. A Pentagon spokesperson said Friday that the U.S. national defense strategy makes clear that China is the pacing challenge of the Department of Defense, and that U.S. officials are working with allies and partners to preserve a peaceful, free, and open Indo-Pacific. What do you make of these statements?
Well, it's the usual. Say something aggressive, then walk it back a little bit later. You've seen this countless times. Biden has mentioned 3 times that he would come to the defense of Taiwan militarily, only to walk it back almost immediately. And this is a real issue. I mean, no country can trust another country. You can't have treaties if the country breaks treaties, and they basically say one thing, do another. So, increasingly, the U.S. is seen not just in China, but around the world as almost a rogue nation. They start wars, basically level economic sanctions unilaterally on other countries in disregard of international organizations. They break so many treaties, whether it's the climate accord in Kyoto or Paris, the Iranian nuclear deal. And countless others. So at this juncture, it's very hard for anybody to judge exactly what the U.S. is doing other than trying to stay on top of the world, try to maintain its hegemony.
What would be the likely reaction from China, you think?
Well, at this juncture, I think China hopefully understands that this tit for tat goes nowhere. Washington is not going to change. They continue to play these kinds of games. It behooves China to basically just stick with economics to continue advancing trade, development, as opposed to responding to Washington, because there's really nothing they can do. I mean, they can say, well, this is silly. Why do you want war? Why are you banging the war drum? Why do you let a 4-star general who was previously in the Pacific Command, why do you allow him to say these things? Why is he being, reprimanded? But that's all internal to the U.S. So at this juncture, China has to put its best foot forward, which is really about development. It's going to lead the world this year in economic growth, and that's important. We have a world which is facing severe problems, everything from climate to the recession. I think there's some desire to divert attention away from the economic problems that the U.S. has had. They grew 2.1% in 2022. China grew at 3%. Yet you'd think the U.S. had achieved major victories economically. Politically divided, it's easy to use nationalism at this juncture to try to unite the country or to try to hide deficits in the way that you've handled everything from COVID to wars to the internal divisions of the United States, gun violence, the list goes on.
Political and economic commentator Einar Tangen. Einar, thank you very much for making time and talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.